Hello, my name is Luis Andrade. I'm making this video to tell you my Kafkian story and ask you for help. I am currently under detention in Colombia. I'm facing up to 30 years in prison. But first, allow me to tell you about myself. I was born in New Orleans of Colombian parents and then grew up in Florida. I got an engineering degree from the University of Florida and an MBA from the University of Pennsylvania. There I met my wife, Teresa. We have 3 grown-up children and are happily married after 30 years. After I graduated from UPenn, I joined McKinsey. I worked there for 25 years, helping to develop a successful consulting practice all across Latin America. In 2011, after 25 years, I retired as senior partner. So, how did I get into this mess? Well, in 2011, President Santos made me an offer to create and run a new agency in Colombia, the National Infrastructure Agency. Salary-wise, it was a big sacrifice, but I wanted to help Colombia become a better place. And modesty aside, after 6 years of running the agency, today it is an international reference as to how a government agency should run public-private partnerships. Most importantly, we were able to develop and award $15 billion of infrastructure projects that are currently transforming the Colombian economy. Now, if any went so well, what's the problem? Well, the problem is that Odebrecht, a Brazilian construction company, won a contract before I arrived after paying a bribe and continued making illegal payments to corrupt politicians to influence decisions at ANI and other government institutions. It is estimated that up to $50 million in bribes were paid in Colombia. Now, I didn't know this. This was discovered or made public by the U.S. Department of Justice in December of 2016. Unfortunately, like in many other cases, corruption in Colombia is only discovered when a foreign nation gets involved. From the very beginning, I had to fight against Odebrecht. Given me my commitment to fight corruption, in 2013 I informed the President's office that there were rumors that Odebrecht was trying to form a cartel in Colombia. Then in 2015 I opposed claims for cost overruns in excess of $250 million by Odebrecht and its partners. Now this is in arbitration. And later, when the DOJ revealed the corrupt practices, I asked the arbitration tribunal to declare the contract null and void as Colombian law requires. And I also opposed a general liquidation formula proposed by Odebrecht and partners that would have generated an additional profit of $150 million for them. Interestingly, a few days after I declared testimony at the arbitration tribunal explaining why we could not accept that formula, the Attorney General publicly announced that charges would be placed against me. Now, if I fought Odebrecht, what charges could they possibly make? I am not being charged with bribery. The prosecutor admitted that I did not receive any money. I'm being charged with the presumption that I made decisions influenced by the lobbying, by the corrupt influence of politicians paid off by Odebrecht. Look, this is absurd. I was doing just the opposite. I was fighting so that Odebrecht and partners would not take hundreds of millions of dollars from the Colombian people. Now, why am I worried? Why am I asking for help? I am worried because I fear I am being used as a scapegoat to avoid investigating the real culprits. I am worried about the conflicts of interest of the Attorney General. He was external counsel for Odebrecht and the main external counsel for the Aval Group, the main partner of Odebrecht in Colombia. In that capacity, he was a counterpart to some of the decisions made at ANI. Then he joined the government as Chief of Staff of President Santos and was part of a decision-making process for which now I am being charged. To make it worse, all executives from Odebrecht and Aval who authorized or might have known about the payments are free and being treated kindly. On the contrary, I'm under detention. I am facing a 30-year sentence, and the prosecutor is threatening me with more charges. Now, how can you help me? If you're a journalist, you can help my family and me by researching the case and writing about it. If you're not a journalist, you can write to your congressman, to your senator, and ask him to please monitor the evolution of my case. Why is it important to help us? Well, Colombia might seem like a faraway country, but corruption in Colombia affects the United States. If the United States wants to stop drug trafficking and illegal immigration, it needs transparent and strong institutions in Colombia as in the rest of Latin America. Please join our fight, and thank you for listening to my story.